People better get us now. That's all. You better get us now.
And they never got him. Never got him. 6th straight March Madness National Championship number 5 as they bring it back. We should be hearing from Mike Crispino after 4 o'clock. They just landed. So kind of getting a minute-to-minute report of what they're doing.
I love that, Kurt. Kurt just said, I got a cut. Didn't tell us what the cut was, but, man, it feels like you've been thinking about that cut for about 2 months now. 2 or 3 months. It's just awesome. It's so true. Yeah. So true. I say that about the women this year as well. You enjoy those wins that you had this year.
Absolutely, with the women.
It's been a lot of fun this year, and really the way it was done. The
highs and the lows, it's tough at the Dibble House. So how did you watch the game last night? I'll go into mine.
All right. I'll keep mine short because I know you probably got some animated tales.
Not really. It was the same throughout the entire tournament. So
I was very disappointed in my local community's watering hole. I was one of 3 people there that was totally garbed up into UConn gear. I had to tell the bartender to turn it to CBS. That's not good. I know it was open mic night, which is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt knows how big of a deal that is.
Whether it's trivia night or open mic night, it just absolutely squashes sports.
Several people asked the 3 of us who were watching the game, "Oh, UConn's still in it?" Oh, man, disappointed. That's so disappointing.
I'm telling you, if there was a pickleball tournament on TV, they'd be watching it.
Gosh.
That's where this state is.
But the 2 alums that I was watching it with, I did not know them, strangers to me, but they were awesome. Nice. They were pumped together. I yelled some cuss words in the 10-minute mark of the second half that got the whole bar to stare. Like the open mic was going on, and it was like between a couple of songs.
Now, was it comedy or singing?
It was singing.
Okay, so it was karaoke night.
No, it was
just we're going to sing our own songs?
It was like 4 or 5 different bands that came in with like one song to do. Kurt knows how this goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
takes 25 minutes to set up and 3 minutes to play a song?
Correct. And so it was during a setup time, and we had turned the ball over, and San Diego State just hit a 3, and I yelled the F word really loud. And I still feel, I know it was a watering hole bar where you can do that sort of thing, but I still felt bad. So us 3 had the passion for everybody in the whole place.
There you go.
How'd it go over at the Dibbles?
All right, so the Dibble House, the entire tournament, whether it was the men or the women, I was banished to Studio 49 on the 2nd floor.
What time? Like at the beginning of the game?
Oh, yeah, way before the beginning of the game. First of all, it was probably 8-ish, and I started playing some Call of Duty just because I didn't want to think about it because I was nervous, and I'm not even playing. And I was kind of sick to my stomach because I just the thought of them not winning was just awful in my mind. So anyway. So then game time starts, and it's hot as heck. That's the one hottest room in the house. And so I have a fan in there. Just for some reason, all the heat collects in that one room, right? It's kind of like an angled room that doubles as where I do the show when I'm at home. Anyway, long story short, I go down and put some shorts on, my UConn gear, put some UConn shorts on and a UConn tank top. And she's like, get the hell back upstairs.
Nice.
Because that's when San Diego was winning like 10-6.
Ooh.
So it was my fault.
Yeah, for sure.
It was my fault. But so I quickly ran in. I didn't even change in the bedroom. I grabbed my stuff and I went upstairs.
Good.
And I changed while I was watching. All of a sudden, bam, it's 10-10. It's 10-10.
Look at that.
But like I told you.
Look at that.
I don't know. There's 10 minutes left in the game. At that point, I think we were up 11. I needed a brown paper bag. I was hyperventilating. Yeah. She's now my 12-year-old's trying to go to sleep. It's about 11-ish, and I'm looking at my watch. And I'm like, it's 11 o'clock, and kids should be watching. Now you have this beef with Major League Baseball, right?
Yeah.
Kids should be watching baseball, especially the playoffs,
especially
and
the World Series.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's my beef last night.
I agree.
It's 11 o'clock. I can't lose my mind in my own home.
Oh, okay.
But every time, here's the beautiful thing about UConn, and whether it's men or the women, and being married to an alum, and her father being an alum, every time, because there's a 2-second delay between her TV and my TV, every time we made like a big basket or a big stop,
oh, no.
I can hear my wife go, yeah! like that. And
you're waiting.
I don't even.
You're
I'm
just
like,
waiting.
oh yeah, something great's about to happen. Oh yeah, and so that's been my world for the last couple of weeks, and it's not bad. I mean, listen, at halftime, I quickly go right back to Call of Duty and go kill a few people online, and then get right back to the game.
There you go. Now, after your brown bag text, Kurt about 5 minutes later sent the same. He said, "Now I need one." Where were you at, Kurt? How'd it go for you and your viewing experience?
I was solo. Just me and Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Wow. Are you pacing? Are you standing? Are you sitting?
I was sitting for most of it, and then when it got snug, yeah, there was a little bit of getting up and pacing back and forth, but no screaming. I did well with the screaming.
I was the only
I'm
screamer.
in a condo, so
yeah. I was very animated all through the game. I was clapping for every free throw, and again with open mic going on, like I was constantly It was like, not for the song, bro. Like, it was for Sunoco's free throws. And then, dissing San Diego State every chance I could get as well. It was fun.
Kirk Morrison's a good friend of the show.
Oh, yeah.
He went to San Diego State. Tony Gwynn went to San Diego State. I won't mention the other kid that pitches for the Nationals, Strasburg.
Oh, that guy,
That guy. No, but listen, San Diego State, they had an amazing year. I never, looking at that team, even against FAU, thought they're not going to match up well against us. I
agree.
Even though you talked about yesterday, they had 6 guys that averaged over 20 minutes, and they did that. And even with 2 minutes left, they ran 2 of their better players off the floor, brought 2 other players on. I'm like,
all interchangeable.
Yeah,
all
exactly. And again, no disrespect to them, but watching our team all year, and even Aline has the confidence if he's in there for 10 minutes, 2 minutes, it doesn't matter. I'm going to bomb a couple of threes because I know I can make them. Newton, when he's running the team and he took over the team in the second half, I have no problem. I don't think we can lose. That's how confident I am. And it's the same thing. Calcaterra, once they started getting back to them, meaning this is what I do. And honestly, Caravan didn't have a great game. 5 points, that's not him. He's usually around 10 points.
Played great
defense. He locked down his guy. Andre Jackson locked down his guy. Again, that's what you do. Defense wins you championships. Yep. Rebounding wins you championships. What Klingon did a couple of times, that sets the tone. Now we're like, we can't even go inside because this big goober's in there. And that's we see it all the time. But when you see it for the first time, like the jabronis on CBS, Barkley's not watching UConn. Kenny the Jet Smith, he's not watching UConn. You can put all the smart-looking glasses on, buddy. You don't know crap about UConn, right? So keep picking Gonzaga and San Diego State and Miami because you don't know. You don't know. So when they're doing their thing and not overthinking it, just do what you do. And I've been on a championship team, so I know this. Every guy's got a job to do. Every guy, and if you do that job to the fullest of your potential, which is what the coaches are getting out of you, good things are going to happen. And they won a national championship because of it.
I said this before the tournament. I'll stick by it. I think the person that had the most to gain was Adama Sanogo. From what I've seen in NBA draft mocks, Sanogo is not on the first round sheet.
Which is idiotic.
If you are watching this tournament and seeing him one-on-one against anyone in this tournament.
Anybody else's big man.
It should totally change your opinion. He was the MOP of the Final Four, which is really cool because Jordan Hawkins was the MOP of the region, the West region. Right. But I just thought Adama not necessarily been under the radar. It's just nobody gives him the credit for getting buckets on everybody in the country, everyone in the country. I know he's a little undersized as a 5 in the next round of the NBA. I know he's not a pinpoint shooter as one of those stretch 4s or stretch 3s right now.
Yep.
But you can't guard this guy one-on-one. When Coach Dutcher went out there and tried to guard him one-on-one at the very beginning of the game, we're at 10-6, they're up. You've got to pick your poison, and one of them is not double-teaming Adama.
Right.
So I thought the kid was an automatic bucket all the way through March. I think he deserves the world. Who knows what his future holds next year? I'm just so proud and happy for him that he was able – that smile, man.
Yeah.
And that smile at the end of the game. I'm still staring at the picture of him hugging Hurley with Caravan in between, like a little Caravan sandwich.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you missed it, so Hurley's son spiked the ball. Guess who caught it? Sunogo.
Awesome.
Sunogo caught it, and he's got it.
Yeah, he didn't let it go.
He did not let it go.
Wayne said
and that would have been me. That's what you do. I'm a souvenirs guy, so I would have been grabbing crap that you can't even imagine. I've been grabbing towels to say Final Four. My basement's filled with All-Star and World Series stuff. Listen, the last rosin bag that was at Riverfront Stadium, guess who owns it?
Oh, no.
Oh, hell yeah,
awesome.
I own it. So, those are the kind of things that you got to do when you've got that second, that moment, that you're like, so that's why I know this kid's going to be great. Not only is his work ethic second to none, but the little things mean a lot to him. And we can't appreciate that because he's not American. He comes from Mali. Everything means something positive to that young man. And so the sky's the limit for this guy. First of all, you and I, and I've been around an awful long time watching basketball. I have not seen too many guys 6'9", other than maybe Magic Johnson, that has that touch underneath the basket.
Yeah.
And the footwork that he has.
Great finesse.
Exactly. So yeah. You could learn a better three-point shot, but that's coaching.
Yeah.
That's not just him. And he's a coachable guy. He's not Ben Simmons.
That's a great point.
He's not going to get so bitter that you want to help him get better. And that, as an athlete and a former athlete like myself, that's your job. It's not just to play professionally. Your job's to get better every day. I don't care if you're an all-star, world champion. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean squat. That doesn't guarantee the next day. But if you're willing to get better every day, like a Kobe Bryant kind of guy, a Michael Jordan, that's why they're Hall of Famers. They always worked on their game. And so for Sunogo, Klingon, all of these guys, Hawkins, yeah, they're good for where they are right now. But in 2-3 years, and you have to watch the guys that have left this program, the Book Knights and guys like that, that have had trouble in the NBA. It's not they need Jeremy Lamb. I mean, a lot of those guys were there last night, and hopefully they said this. Hey, man, NBA's not easy. It ain't easy. That's a whole nother realm. And so for these guys, and I loved what Hurley said, hey, I think we're going to practice tomorrow. I mean, these guys, they have to have that mentality that, you know what, hey, enjoy this, but if you want to play in the NBA or you want to win another national championship, the work never ends.
Before we go to break, I want to bring up a negative. I know it's all positive today. I'm sorry, Kurt. This has to be said.
No, this is the fan base.
Kids. I know it's been a while, and you've been great all year. The student sections at Gamble have just been epic. You can't lose in Gamble when that student section is on fire. But you're better than trashing your own university. There was some vandalism last night, and I know everybody was out in the streets, and everybody's having a great time. And people are climbing stuff. I don't understand that.
They turned the car over. I think it was a security car. You broke light posts.
Those are your lights.
Yeah, they're your lights.
Security.
And guess what? Who pays for that stuff? Your tuition.
Yeah, you do.
You or your parents.
You
do.
You
broke your own stuff.
You're better than that.
Right.
So much better than that. We're going to win one again.
Yeah, whether it's male or female, someone's going to win one. Maybe the baseball team wins the next one. Who knows? Maybe the softball team wins the next one.
So let's take the lessons from last night. And let's not do that ever again.
Well, here's what I think, too. Act like you've done it before, which we have.
I know.
Your university has. They've been doing it for 30, 40 years.
Number five.
11 on the women's side.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of other sports that are winning national championships. You honor them at halftime almost every damn game, male or female. It doesn't matter. You're honoring everybody else that's so good at UConn. So be part of the goodness. Don't trash it. I love it. Don't trash your own. It's really don't trash your own house. That's your house, man.
Right.
You trashed your own house last night. That's shameful to me.
Now, again, there's going to be times to make up for it in the next couple of years. We're going to win some national championships.
I think your penances go to every home game for baseball and softball the rest of the damn year.
Nice. I like that. Don't arrest these kids.
No, don't arrest them, but go be fans and show your support somewhere else.
Right.
Show that school
You have to go to all the baseball, all the softball, or you don't graduate.
Nope. Yeah, turn that over, would you? All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll have Mike Crispino coming up in the 4 o'clock hour.
Right.
First dibs question of the day next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell. It is Championship Tuesday here on the Rob Dibble Show with Kurt Kaplan. We'll be right back.